5 months after the city of Flint switched back to safe drinking water source, hundreds of homes are still testing higher than the EPA's safety level for lead. The EPA says phosphates being added are starting to help stop the corrosion of the city's infrastructure. Work is just now beginning to start replacing lead service pipes. It's believed there are some 8,000 lines that may have to be changed, but the record keeping is apparently so poor the city is not entirely sure which pipes need to stay and which ones needs to go. And the $58 million pledged by the state to deal with the crisis does not even cover that cost.
Well, it's one thing to have to use bottled water for a few days because of a health alert due to contamination.
Try to imagine, if you can, having to do that for months and months on end with no end in sight. The Now's Andy Choi went to Flint to see what the day is like for people living with the reality. And we're happy to have you here joining us live in person on the Now.
Good to be here, Stephen and Heather. You know, most major national media outlets have come and gone, but knock on virtually any door in Flint, and it is easy to see the struggle for water continues.
Ooh, that looks good. Stir it up.
Something as simple as a batch of lemonade comes at a high cost for Tabitha Dunson.
Just a little more sugar. A little more sugar? Okay.
But when the grandkids are visiting,
Ooh, that is good.
even Tabitha can't help but splurge.
They give these out, so I usually try to keep these to cook with.
It's the kind of rationing the people of Flint continue to juggle on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep every drop of bottled water accounted for.
You would never think that was loaded with lead.
All as they wonder exactly what is coming out of that tap.
Would you drink this?
No.
Would you recommend any guest drink this?
No.
Even with the filter?
No.
Tabitha trusts the tap just enough to bathe and do the laundry. For everything else,
This is where we stack all the water.
a stockpile of donated water keeps life tolerable.
We keep a lot of water. Since we go to the fire station, we collect water. Or the church gives out water, so usually we can go up there and we get more water.
In the shadows of this crisis, Tabitha's biggest concern revolves around Flint's youngest generation.
It's going to be a tough road. We don't know how these kids are going to react. We don't know how deeply they're going to be affected.
But despite all this, Tabitha has no plans to live anywhere else.
We'll make it. The ones that want to stay here, we'll stay here. If I have to bunker down, I have to do it.
Call it pride, call it defiance, call it a glass half full.
We'll be here. Flint is home.
A glass that remains in desperate need of clarity.
This is the only place. This is home.
Now, Governor Snyder has hired outside attorneys to represent the state in civil cases and to process records connected to Flint's water crisis. Meantime, the next Democratic presidential debate will be in Flint this Sunday, and the topic, of course, is expected to be front and center, guys.
Now, Andy, good to see you, first of all, here. I would suspect the people of Flint have a little trust issue. So the officials are telling them this is getting fixed. They were going to fix this. We got the money. Do they even believe them?
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's a waiting game now. And that's what it is. As you can see, every day you have to ration the bottled water. And so they're planning years ahead. You know, they're wondering if these kids are going to have problems with this water.
Right, how can they trust at this point?
It's unbelievable.
Eddie, hey, good to see you. Thanks.
Good to see you, too.
In person, live and in person.